Alright, we can delete the pipes as well. And then we turn everything back on. Because, seriously, why? I don't know why the game tells you to do this sort of stuff. Alright, well, we did it. We got the achievement. We unlocked the building. I hope you're happy. Alright, come on, let's turn these back on. And this, turn that back on. And we had one there. Nope, not the fish sticks. Wait a minute. What was it, this one? Alright, turn that back on. Where are my clinics? That one. And there's one around here. Oh, this one. And then there's one somewhere. If there's one thing I want to complain about is that the buildings are not very distinctive. Like when you just look down like this, it's very hard to spot your clinic in amongst all the other houses. So maybe if the buildings were a bit more distinctive, that would help the player figure out what's going on. Because it's so easy to lose. I mean, you can just turn on the views, of course, and find them. But the fact that you have to like turn this on to find buildings is maybe not ideal. Alright, so I turn all those back on. We're gonna turn the budget back up to 100. To 100. Are you kidding me? I can't actually... Okay, 100. 100, alright, good. And alright, go. And then we'll see if we can get our city back to some functioning state. There's a lot of dead bodies too. This has been terrible. Citizens are sick, yeah, I know. I know they're sick. Oh, look at that poop. I need to wait for this poop to clear out of the water. Oh no, so much poop. So much poop, guys. What are we gonna do? Alright, come on. Let's wash the poop away. And then we can go back to being a normal city again. Oh crap, people are dying. Citizens are sick. What's the health? Wow, 3%. Average health 3%. That's amazing. I didn't think you could get it that low. Alright. Okay, it's climbing again. It's climbing again. That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Alright, what's going on here? Why are these... Oh, I turned them off, crap. Okay, I manually turned them off, my bad. Okay, let's turn these back on. And start dealing with garbage again. I find it curious that there are so few trucks going to the train station now. Hopefully it's not a permanent thing. Alright. Health is going back up. Garbage is apparently fine. Incineration status apparently is fine. Huh. Alright, well, good. And there's a lot of dead people too. Crematorium availability, I guess we're burning people. 161. Alright, so the number of deceased is going down. We are gradually fixing the city again. We are losing money like you wouldn't believe though, look at that. So I guess the city, it reaches a new equilibrium after a while. Like, you go from an equilibrium where you are fully serviced, you have doctors and then water and sewage and garbage, and that's all fine. And you turn all that off, and then everybody starts dying. But after a while, it reaches a new equilibrium where you're not losing money. So now, if you remember, we got to a point where we were kind of making money, but all the services were off. So there's like different levels of equilibrium where things can work. Oh wow, my population is dying. Wow, we halved our population, I think. That is terrible. That's terrible. We can hold on. Let's go to statistics. Oh wow, we cut our population by 2/3 doing that. That that's worse than the Black Death. We just killed everybody in our city. Amazing. I I don't know. I think that was a pretty bad idea. I'm not gonna save the game yet. Let's see how our city recovers. Let me just speed this up. Let's see if and when our city is gonna recover. I mean, that's why our traffic problem disappeared, because everybody died. So there's no traffic anymore. Which is not usually how you solve a traffic problem, but you can see how the population dynamics works pretty well. You know, they function as you would expect. For example, if you kill everybody in the city, your traffic problem disappears. Isn't that good to know? I feel like more cars are using this now. I think they are, yeah. Alright, you can see how, yeah, there's actually more cars using this now. Good. So that's going to alleviate some of the traffic problems, especially once we join this back up, I guess. So that it's... Yeah, I guess we join this back up at some point to a T-junction there. Maybe have like have an on-ramp and then T-junction. Maybe I can do that now. Not that I think it'll matter. I don't think anyone's going to bother driving around that way instead of this way. We're still losing money. We're still losing a lot of money. There's still a lot of corpses in the city. Average health is still only 43%. Wow, you absolutely destroy the city doing that. The number of sick people are going down slowly. The corpses should be taken care of. I guess the remaining couple hundred corpses are here. Alright, health is up to 54%. Alright, well. We're losing a lot of money. We're losing a ridiculous amount of money. That was a really bad idea to try that, actually. We completely destroyed our city doing that. I don't know if I want to save this. We unlocked one building. And we absolutely destroyed our city in doing so. I don't know if I want to manually demolish these abandoned buildings. I might. Wow. Wow. I think it helps if we manually demolish the abandoned buildings. Does it help? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that was a really terrible idea. Absolutely terrible idea. We're almost back up to 20,000 people. Alright, we're back to 20,000 people in our city. We're still like 15,000 short. That was a really bad idea. See, that's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. Why would you encourage players to go for these negative achievements when they're so clearly bad ideas? I mean, you have to completely wreck your city in order to do them. And we're out of money, by the way. Alright, can we go bankrupt? Is it possible to be bankrupt in this game? We're almost back in the green, our bank balance. Running out of money. Yeah, I know we're running out of money. We're almost back in the green though. Just wait a few more weeks. Just a few more weeks and then we'll be back in the green. Although our population is recovering remarkably quickly. What's going on? Statistics? Actually, we need to be. We were almost at 40,000. Man, that was terrible. Alright, keep going. And the game, if you notice the frame rate issues, it's because we're running the game at full speed. And yeah, my computer is not handling the frame rates all that well at this speed. That's okay though. Maybe I should... let's not look at the... Alright, if we don't look at the traffic, then the frame rates are better. I just want to let this run for a bit, and so we can get back to... Alright, now we're making money again. See, we can't build anything because we're bankrupt. We have to wait until we get our money back. Okay, soon. Soon. But you know, I guess that does demonstrate that the simulation is actually quite robust. You know, you can do that, and it doesn't get stuck on anything, right? Like you cut your services and everything collapses, and then you restore services and everything just picks back up again. Like it doesn't get stuck in a negative loop. And you can compare this to something like Banished, for example. Like the way Banished work is that you can get stuck in negative spirals, right? If you run out of food, people start starving. If people start starving, then they can't work. If they can't work, they can't get more food. And so, or if you run out of tools, for example, which is one of the things that I did. I ran out of tools, the people became less efficient at their work, so that then because they were less efficient, they couldn't get enough food and they couldn't make enough tools fast enough to recover back to a state where they were making tools, right? So there's like equilibriums, but it's almost impossible. Like the cliff between the equilibriums is very hard to get across. Like if your blacksmith has tools, then your blacksmith can make enough tools to keep replenishing the tools. If you ever run out of tools, your blacksmith does not have a tool, then they are less efficient at making tools, and then you just cannot recover from that because you just don't have tools. You don't have tools to make more tools, and therefore you're stuck. And so with a game like Banished, you can get stuck in these negative cycles where you can't recover. You can't actually get out of them. Whereas in this game, you can just cut everything dies, and then you restore everything, and then everything comes back to life. So in that sense, it's more forgiving, and so it allows you more freedom to experiment because you can kind of mess things up, but you can come back from it without having to do anything completely drastic, right? In fact, we had to do something pretty drastic to get into trouble in the first place. And to recover, we just go back. We just kind of switch with everything back on, and then wait a while, and just kind of not doing anything else, but waiting. the city will recover. So in terms of game mechanics, I like that. Just because it's not, yeah, like it doesn't, it's not like it feels unfair if you can get stuck in these negative loops that you can't get out of. Whereas this game, you don't do that. Like you don't get into that sort of situation all that much. So there's still a lot of cars here. What are these guys doing? Why are they changing lanes? Oh, they're changing lanes because there's a... Well, adding a junction here slows this down a little bit. That's kind of concerning. I was hoping... I mean, I guess we don't fix anything until we finish the network, the highway network. I was hoping to alleviate some of this traffic by allowing cars to come down here. And they are coming down here, just not all that much, right? That's still fine. I'm just wondering if now they're not actually using the train station anymore for some reason. Alright, so what do we want to do? Build more highways? Don't want to build too many highways because it does actually cost money to maintain all the stuff that we're not using, like all this stuff that we're not actually using. It does cost money to maintain. Garbage is piling up, really? Where? Garbage is piling up where? No, it's not. Like there's garbage coverage in the entire city, right? I don't know, where is it piling up? I don't see it. No it isn't. I don't see it. Let's see, so... Oh, hey, look, people are still sick. There's still 1,906 citizens. Well, maybe it doesn't recover the way we would hope. 19... Let's see if that goes down. It's going down slowly. The number of sick people. For some reason, the fire coverage here is really bad. Crime rate 4%. Alright, the number of sick people is going down very, very slowly. Can we help this? That's almost recovered. That's not doing so well. Is this at capacity? No, it's 58 out of 100 patients. It's not really a problem. 48 out of 100 patients, yeah, they're just slowly recovering from all the poop. Ugh. Man, that was disastrous. It was utterly disastrous. And we literally have to wait for the population to recover before we can expand again because there's no demand for anything. Oh, well, let's play with the buses. Who told me about the buses? Apparently, a good idea for the buses is to have like local loops, and then express routes between the bus depots. Apparently, that's a good idea. So what I think I'll do is I'll put a bus depot around here or something, and then I'll start looping it up. Should I do that? I should do that. Alright, let's do that. Where should I put the bus depot? I guess here. Maybe. Let me put a bus depot... Actually, what is automatically sends out buses for your bus lines. Build lines with a bus stop to adjust the number of buses available by raising or lowering the city's public transport budget. Let me put a bus depot there.